Reality Team TV. We back. On the red chair. You get me? We got Simone, aka. Tell them. Let me not even tell them. Tell
Elders in the
them.
building, man. Elders in the building.
Come on.
We're here, man.
We're here, man.
Good convos.
This is a North London. You get me? This is a North London link up for sure, man.
North London link up.
North London, stand up.
All day, come
Bruce Grove, stand up.
Come on.
Shower man behavior.
Ends thing.
You already know.
Absolutely.
Nah, it's beautiful to have you here, man.
Lovely to be
We
here.
want to thank you very, we want to thank you very, very much for joining us, man. For making time for us. You get me? Like, I think you're dope, man. You get me? I feel like you're one of these artists. Like, obviously, there's always generations in it. Like, in terms of like, like music. There's always like a group of people who dominate a certain generation, and within another 5 years or 10 years, there's more people that come. Yeah. So I feel like when I came across you, I really, honestly, looking at you, I really feel like you're one of the people are gonna be like big within this next generation that's coming through. You get me? And I want to
I appreciate that, and it's important for me to have these authentic conversations with people that like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were having a conversation when I just came here about like
Real shit.
being authentic, about like people actually getting in touch with me as a person and understanding like who I am behind the music and all that. So it's important for me if someone actually reaches out to me because they've seen my music, that and you want to talk to me, let's talk. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Because if you are interested in what I'm doing, what could be better for me as an artist? Like, you genuinely like my thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm sitting here with 90K and you're reaching out to me trying to bring your thing up. Like, it's not even about the followers thing. It's a genuine thing. So that's important for you, man. These
and I feel like and sometimes I feel like it's good to be a part of each other's journeys. You
Absolutely.
Get me? Like, I'm growing, we growing, you're growing.
Yes,
and I feel like sometimes it's beautiful because in hindsight, I can already see like, obviously not everybody because sometimes people take their own directions in it.
Yeah.
But I believe like there's certain people, hopefully you're going to be one of them where it's like 10 years down the line, we all gonna be like in mad places and we're looking back and we're
rooms,
like, do you remember?
Yeah,
you get me?
And
like,
we're able to build partnerships based off of those
like,
things, and you know what I mean? We got opportunities and we are able to bring each other to the
absolutely.
table. That's always important for me, like working with more people, but having not just all hands in the party, but like relevant people, do you know what I mean? If you want to throw an event and you know someone that runs a security business and you know a next person for alcohol license and you know a next person who's a promoter and you know a DJ, you can actually just get all your people and throw an event and everybody can just chop that up, and do you know what I mean? Like, so that's always just been important, getting people that you really know involved in a thing, because then we're always also going to promote it like we love it, because we do. It's going to be like, look at this thing I'm doing with my brethren, and everyone is going to say that. So if like 18 man are saying, look at this thing I'm doing with my brethren, look how much eyes we're going to get. If we all get 100 man, someone's going to get 200, you might bring 5, you might bring 20 other people, but they all buy a ticket. You might show us to 500 man, but only 30 people buy a ticket. Like, but if we all do it together, like, we can just make a thing, innit? So
the only way is up, really.
Do you get me? Like, with everyone involved, it's a no-brainer. So
let's take it back. Let's take the people back from the beginning. When did your music journey begin? Like on a real thing. Obviously, there's different levels to like. Just fucking around, you know, like not really taking it serious, really fun, just having fun. And then you get to a point where it's like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I want to do to make me money. This is what I want to do. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, when did you get to that point? When did you get to that point where it's like, I love this shit. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Take us back.
The I love this shit has always been there. Do you know what I mean?
Talk to us.
Because music for me is just. It's just always been there, like mum, dad, you know them ones, like mum's always playing it, like dad did music or whatever, so I was always around it, do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't weird to me to be like backstage at like some concert. That was kind of normal because my dad did music. So it was always around me. I always loved it in terms of like making it myself, like in school, stuff like that. Obviously I did B-Tech music. So you know you do B-Tech music a lot of the time, you're like trying to get in the studio on your lunch break and that, like finish off your beat that you were doing in class. You're like, oh sir, can I just get in there? But then, you know, when there's like 2 or 3 of you, you notice that are always there and you just kind of start rapping together or whatever. So it's just like that authentic start to like me making music. So originally I was in a group and I mean, I still kind of am, we just now kind of turn it to what we call a collective, because now we all make music individually. So now it's like, all right, if we want to get back together, we can. on like a Wu-Tang thing. You might see every man together, or you might just see one man, you might just see us doing a feature or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how it started, F2D, making music out of secondary school. And then I guess when we got to uni, obviously everyone kind of went separate ways and stuff like that. So then when we kind of started doing our own thing, like in our personal lives, I guess music just kind of followed, because it's not like we could just go to the studio now, because studio was my house before. You know what I mean? So it's not like we just go to my house now. Like I said, I went uni in Birmingham, so I've left London now. I'm in Birmingham, and one of them went Wolves, and then one of them stayed in London, so it's kind of like everyone's scattered. So I kind of put a hold on the music thing. As much as I loved it, do you know what I mean? It was also like, you know, that thing, like we said, music can be the lottery. So am I just gonna do, like, I can do music after I'm done with uni type of thing, do you know what I mean? I'm gonna put down the music thing for a little bit. I'm just gonna focus, like, I'm gonna just do my uni thing, do a social thing, experience life for a little bit. And even then when I go back to music, I'm gonna have things to talk about, because now it's like I've lived life more. I've gone uni, I've got experiences to, do you know what I mean, whatever.
You've got a lot more to say.
Exactly. So that kind of happened, obviously, went uni. Still did a 1 or 2 track when I was in uni, but before that, it was like music videos, and we were really trying to do a thing before that. But then, yeah, uni kind of put a hold on that. And obviously, when you come out of uni, and you're just thinking, well, I can't just go back to just being jobless and like, cool, I'll just get a job. You know, you get caught up in the societal, cool, I need to have a job thing. Before you know, mum's just screaming at me, thinking, what are you doing at home every day? You're not doing nothing. Like, you just got this degree now, yeah, you're just gonna come home and jam. So now you get a job, and then once life actually settles back down, like, cool, now I can figure out in my free time, I can start doing music again. And I think I kind of got back into music more like in a therapy thing. Like, you know how people always say music's therapeutic? I think that getting stuck in the wheel was kind of like bogging me down. That idea of like, I feel like I've got to like have this job, and you know, I was trying to do business stuff, but it's always like I'm fighting against the powers and the world, and everything is not in my favor to do all that stuff. So then I started kind of like getting down a bit, and my release for that was writing poetry. So it was just like little things, like when I was in my office and like people would talk to me, and then, you know, you're like, yeah, but then they leave and you're like, oh, allow it. Like that mood switching, like faking it just for the office, because you don't want people in your business being like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Because I'm like an extrovert, so usually I'm always happy and that. People see me always, no. So if I'm in the office and I'm just in the corner like that, people are really like, what's wrong? And so I'm faking it just to not have them questions, but then I'm feeling the pressure. I'm like, oh, now I'm faking it. So then sometimes I'll just be sitting at my desk and I'll just be writing about that, like the fact that little poems, you know what I mean? People are walking in a room, they don't know how I feel, they're saying hi to me, I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, I don't want to talk to you still. Managers asking me what's going on, it's in your inbox, chill, like little poetry stuff, spoken word type of. And then that kind of got me back into, man, like writing really is my release. And like, then when I would read through it, it was literally so therapeutic. I remember like reading through one of my spoken words one time and like almost dropping a tear, because I was like, raw. Like I putting myself back where I was when I wrote that at that time. And then that just went more into like, nah man, music's my love. Like, because that spoken word and that poetry to me is so close to when I'm rapping. It's just more cadence, more rhythm in the poetry. So because they're so close, it brought me kind of back to music. And then, you know, I was like, well, now that I'm older, it's not going to be a relying on a group thing. You know, everyone's all adults now. Everyone's all got their jobs, different bills. And so I was like, if I'm going to do the music thing, I'm going to do it myself. And I'm going to do everything like I used to. Like, because from school, like I said, I did BTEC music. So I know how to engineer. I know how to do all of that. So I said, cool, I'm going to bring all the equipment like I used to have in the house, set it back up upstairs. And now I have no excuse to not do music, because the only barrier is me. It's just turning on the computer. Wow. I've got it there now. I've got the mic. It's plugged in. I've got the booth set up. I even took, like, before I went back to recording, I took like 2 weeks, And I said to myself, I'm going to work on myself as an engineer before I record, So what I did was, the software that I have, I went and for 2 weeks, every day I went and I looked at a different YouTube video, because you know on YouTube you can learn to do anything. Like I already know the basics of being a sound engineer, but for a long time I hadn't touched it. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna refine my skills. In my program. So every single day I spent 20 minutes just watching YouTube videos from different people, like here's little tricks you can do to make it sound really clean, like to get the best sound quality out of whatever equipment you have. So I took 2 weeks, watched YouTube, 20 minutes of YouTube videos every single day. I was writing down little notes and stuff, writing down little stuff. And then I built myself like a template. So now every single time that I record, I just go in my program and I open my template and I record straight into that. Sometimes it sounds clean already off of one take. And I'm mixing and I'm mastering out of that template. Because it's my voice. My voice always sounds the same. I've always got the same tones and whatever. So
that's what caught my attention as well when I came. When I came, like I was saying literally to my brethren, like when I came across you, I like your voice sounds unique. It's one of those voices. Two things that caught my attention already. Your voice and your clarity. And obviously, we all know as a music artist, those. Especially the second one, clarity, is so important. But your voice literally,
do you know what?
One of the main things that caught my attention.
Now, that goes back to me taking this time before I'm starting to be like, I'm going to be the engineer. I like to be self-sufficient. I don't want to be booking studio sessions that's running up my bill or waiting for a next man to mix down my thing. I can't put it out. I'm waiting for the mix. Oh, let me get this version. Let me get that version. I know I can do all of those things, but let me make sure I can do it at a level that can make it to Spotify, that can make it to distro, that can, if someone asks me to perform somewhere, we can put it on and it sounds clean on the big speakers, not just the little AirPods or the whatever. Let me learn how to mix, master. So I took time watching all them videos. I built my little template. And now, literally, like, when my friend came to my yard the other day and we recorded My Dogs, one of my last singles, he literally did a couple takes in the mic. I started playing out the speaker straight away. He's like looking at me like, he had a little confused face because he's thinking, bro, what did you do to it? It sounded clean already. I knew it. I could see in his face. He was like, you know, he's asking me, like, let me get the bounce of this. I don't even need, like, because in the car, I want to play it on the way home. Like, because it already sounds clean. Sometimes when you record, if it doesn't have a certain clarity to it, it doesn't have a certain cleanness to it, you can't even believe in it sometimes. Because you need to hear it how it sounds in your head. Like, and in your head, it sounds clean. So, like, taking that time before I got back into music, that was important for me. And, like, you know, now I can tell it's them things are working. If people are saying my thing's clear and whatever, that's a compliment to me because I've mixed it and I've mastered it. So the only thing I'm not doing nowadays on my music is the production. And that's just because I thought I can produce, but that takes me more time. Like, if you come to me with a beat, I'll write you a verse in 20 minutes. If you want me to make the beat, I need a couple of days. I need more time. And I wanted less barriers to my music. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get to the point again, which I'm starting to reach now, when I want to get my hands back on producing and I want to be on my own beats and that. But for me, it was important that when I start dropping it, it's radio ready. So, like, if somebody finds it and says, oh, this is cool, it sounds clean already. So I was like, let me buy the beats, let me buy them clean, and then let me just get on them. And then that way I can do mixing, I can do the master, get it down, put it through the distro, whatever. So
I'm not gonna lie, you sound like a fucking breath of fresh air, you know. And what I mean by that, you know, when, like, I don't speak to, honestly, like I said, when I speak to a lot of music artists, there's levels to this shit, There's levels. You know, when you listen to somebody and you can proper tell that person, they are a student of the game.
They love it.
I swear to God, me proper listening to you proper, what I really love, it's like, you're a student of the game. You love this shit and you're willing to put in all of the hours, you're willing to do whatever it takes in order for you to proper give us, consumers, like a proper... honestly, I love that. I proper love that, man.
Yeah, man.
And in terms of, like, even, like, genre, talking about genre, once again, that word, especially that word, I feel like that word gets a little bit blurred nowadays because certain things, it's like, me as a consumer, I listen to certain songs or whatever, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, not in a bad way, but I'm thinking,
I don't even know what this is.
What fucking genre, what genre is this? Like, what
fit
category?
in?
Like, for you, talk to us. For you, like...
You know what? That is such an important thing for me because... I am, like, one of the biggest things about me, I am anti being boxed in. Like, I hate for somebody to say, like, this is a dinner artist. Like, that's mad disrespectful to me. I can hop on any beat. I can hop on any genre. Like, I can, if you want to come to me with Afrobeat tune, like, I'm on it. Let's do that. If you want to come to me with a grime set, let's go. We can go back to back. We can bar. If you want to come to me with a rap thing, a little R&B, you want to sing, a little melodies on the background, I've got that too. Like, because I literally love music. So I don't try, like, I tried to literally go against the idea of boxing myself in. And that was kind of part of the point of this last project that I did, because I felt like before that, the only project that was out for me on my Spotify, that was called How We R&B, which obviously is like an R&B based project. So a lot of melody, a lot of more like singing sometimes, or even if it's just rapping, like a little bit of melody underneath, filling it, you know, more R&B vibe. And then I thought to myself, I was like, you know, I've been making music, like I was telling you guys, you know, in this group since secondary school and whatever. But if you just clicked on my Spotify right now and you just found me, you'd probably be like, okay, so you kind of make like R&B rap music. But like, I'm thinking that's mad, because anyone who knew me from school thinks this R&B thing is new, because they knew me just like rapping over stuff. Do you know what I mean? Rapping over Drake beats, and they just thought she's bars. So now they're hearing me do R&B stuff with melody, thinking like, right, you're back on the music thing, but like, okay, they're thinking this is pretty different. But if you don't know me, you're thinking I'm an R&B person. So am I supposed to sit here all day and think about where everybody might find me, how everybody might perceive me, or am I actually supposed to make the music that moves me and then hope that people get in touch with me, they resonate with me, so they move where I move? Like, sometimes I'm in the yard and I'm just listening to Bob Marley and I just want to do a thing that's got a little reggae jump to it. Sometimes I'm in the yard and I'm just listening to Mary J. Blige and I'm thinking I want a little 90s R&B swing to it. Like, and then I think to myself, some of the people that I love the most, like if I think about, you know, just think about someone like Drake, for say, I love Drake when Drake was giving me R&B music. When Drake is rapping, I still like Drake. When Drake is on Jersey, whatever, sometimes I still like Drake. Drake made house music. I didn't really like it, but there are some people that like that and they still like that. That's all Drake. You can't say that, oh, you don't like this just because of whatever. If you don't want to listen to it, that's cool. But he's going to make what he wants to make.
Of course,
So I'm not trying to be boxed in by being like, oh, you're this kind of artist. I'm not that kind of artist. I'm an artist.
Exactly.
I can do any box, bruv. Any collab, I'm on it. Any vibe, I rock it, bruv. Like, versatility for me. So that was why last thing I was like, I'm trying to find a way to make versatility cohesive. Do you know what I mean? And that's hard sometimes, because it can just sound like, raw, like, you just did an Afrobeat song, then I press next, and then now you're rapping, and then next, and now you're singing, and then next, and now you're rapping again. It's a bit confusing. Like, where's the borderline between confusing and like, okay, you're just an artist and it's still cohesive. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's inequality.
No, I think like you need to have like different range to like your craft.
Yeah.
You can't just be one base thing, because obviously, like when you're in the entertainment business, like you have to like you're basically a product. So if they want you to rap on certain other beats, like, okay, we've heard you on this, but can you do this?
Yeah.
Like they wanna see, like, you know, how far your range goes, you know what I mean? So
exactly.
they can put you onto different things.
Exactly. So it's mad, like a lot of people will always be like saying to me like, aren't you, and I guess this is the pros and cons of my approach, is like people say to me, like, aren't you worried that like you won't be able to build a core fan base? Because it's like, if every song I hear from you is not the same, and I don't like, alright, cool, I just rely on you for this kind of thing, so I go to you and I listen, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you think Bryson Tiller right now, you have a sound in your head. That's like a little bit R&B, but like a little bit, he might rap a little bit, but it's like an R&B, slowy kind of, you know what you're going to hear. But then if I said to you, Drake, you might actually not know what you're going to hear. You might hear an Afrobeat song, you might hear, but they're both still artists, do you know what I mean? So I don't worry about that idea of like, oh, you're not worried that like you're not going to build that fan base. Nah, I think that people know good music. And if people find me and they just think you're cold, they'll just stick around and they'll just be interested in what I've got going on.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that
I
outlook.
was gonna say that. I mean, like, if they really like your craft, they will stick with you.
Do you know what I'm saying? People will just be like, cool. Even if there's tunes that you don't like, cool, that doesn't mean that you don't rate me as an artist. It's just like, oh, you don't like that song. Like I said, I didn't like Drake's house music. Like, if you ask me about it, I'll be like, that's whack. I wouldn't tell you Drake is whack though, because I still like Drake. There's a lot of Drake music that I appreciate.
Yeah, it gives
and
us
I like, do you know what I mean? And if you've got like this many albums, and I can be like, all right, cool. There's like 3 of your albums even that I love. Like, to me, that's really important because the music literally comes from my heart, comes from my head. Like this, what I'm saying in this pattern, in this cadence, in my tone, in this pocket doesn't exist before I think of it and record it and give it to people. So like, it's low key, like really personal for me. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't make music as like a detached artist. Like I'm Eldo, I'm Simone, we're one. You talk to me, you're talking to Eldo. This is normal for me.
Yeah.
So it is personal for me. So anybody that likes my music, immediately I'm like, you're family to me. Like, cool. That's like, as soon as you say you want to chop it up or you want to speak, cool. Because I have to love those people that appreciate what I'm giving. Because like I said, I'm not going to give the same thing every time. So I'm not just making music to be pigeonholed and like looking for this segment of people to love me. I'm looking just for anyone that likes what I do. So if you like what I do, then I ride with you immediately already. Like, cool. If you're on it, I'm on it. You want to do a thing, let's do it. Because you appreciate it. Like, and I feel like that just makes everything authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
So what would you say, yeah? Like, you know, like if somebody, because you know sometimes like, there's so many different people who ask so many different questions. You never know what...
You got to have a label for yourself.
You get me. You never know, like, some people might listen to your music and some people might have so many different questions to ask you. So in case somebody wanted to ask you this, yeah, like, what is the typical, one of these typical questions, yeah? What is like your unique selling point? If you get me?
For me, it's always the lyrics. Like,
Talk
for
to
me,
them.
it's the wordplay.
Tell them to talk to you
I
nice.
feel like, you know what I mean?
Tell them to talk to you nice.
I feel like, I know, I feel like that is my signature.
Yeah.
Like, and you get that in different forms. Do you know what I mean? Listening to me, like, you might listen to a song that's more like a galley kind of R&B-ish kind of song or whatever, but if you really take in the verse, I'm still giving you lyrics.
Exactly.
Or you might get a thing with me barring where I'm trying to show off and I'm trying to show you I've got lyrics. I'm here, like I've got something to prove. Like, I'm just barring. Like, but I feel like there's always a lyrics to it. Sometimes it comes with melody to make it more digestible. Like, because I'm not stupid. I understand, you know, what's radio friendly. I understand, you know, melody is catchy. I myself, I like R&B music. I like melody. So I'm trying to put that in my music sometimes. But I don't stray away from the wordplay. Like, whatever topic I'm trying to be within, I'm still trying to give, do you know what I mean? Trying to give the metaphors in there. I'm trying to give little smart punchlines, little wordplay. Do you know what I mean? Because it's important for me that, like, my music ages well. And I feel like music ages well when, you know, sometimes you go back to it, you listen and you're like, bro, I didn't even clock that bar.
I was just about to,
I love that. I love that. Like, when I'm listening to, like, Dave or something, and I just go back to some old Dave and I'm like, I didn't even realise that man said that one. I was already like gassed off the rest of the track and I didn't even deep that one. So it's like, you know, you got to leave the little nuggets for people, and the people who like it and appreciate it, they will find it.
Of course.
So I'm just dropping them all the way now. I drop them all the time. And at some point, either I'm going to blow and people are going to look back at my catalogue and they're going to look at all them nuggets and they're going to pick them up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we're pushing for that because we're speaking that into existence.
I think now that's what they're looking for, that the craft, you know.
Yeah, man.
Where it's all about the bars, you know what I mean?
Because people strayed from that. People strayed from that because of social media.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have to be about that. Like, even the length of a song now shows you that it's not even about that. Like,
nowadays, 1 minute, 2 minutes.
1 minute, 2 minutes.
You
if you make a 4-minute song now, people are like, bro, you better have features on there. That's like, I'm trying to wait to listen to a next man, and then the next man, and then like, if it's just you rapping for 4 minutes. Well, buddy, I don't know.
I'm not sure about that, mate.
You better be cold.
Yeah,
for
real.
A 4-minute song right now, you better be cold.
For real.
Because even cold man are dropping a 2-minute freestyle, and you're like, and you just got that on repeat. And then that's the other thing you got to think as well, statistically with your music. If your song is 1.5 minutes and people love it, they're going to listen to it 10 times. If your song's 4 minutes and people love it, they might listen to it like 2 or 3 times and then go to something else. Just because of that attention span that people have nowadays. So when your song's 1.5 minutes, even if I want to listen to it for 10 minutes, you have more plays in your Spotify than me listening to the 4-minute song for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
They got 2.5, you got like 7 or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So then you think of the numbers. What does that mean? You look like as an artist now. You have more streams. You have more repeat listeners. You have more valuable. All those kinds of things. So it's just one of them things, isn't it? The game is just conversion to shorter music, shorter runtime. Yeah. So that's why I'm always like the verbiage is key, man. The wordplay is key. Yeah, like if you're only gonna give me like 2 minutes. Like, and even if your song is 4 minutes, they ain't playing that on the radio. They're chopping it up and still playing only 1.5 minutes. So if you can get a good song off in somewhere between like 1:30 to 2 minutes and 30 seconds,
yeah,
and you can bars in that and give a little bit of melody, and people are like, whoa, I want to reload that.
I believe, yeah. You see like streaming platforms, yeah. I believe, yeah. Again, hey. I would love somebody from fucking Apple, any of these Tidal, any of these streaming platforms, yeah. One day for somebody to come on the red chair, yeah, and break it down to us exactly how the fuck that shit works. Meaning, I believe, yeah, for me personally, yeah, this is why I'm not even me. I'm not on any of these streaming platforms. I just consume my music on YouTube, yeah, because I've got this fury, yeah, that obviously, again, I don't know how they do it, the ins and outs, but I've got this theory that a lot of these streaming platforms, yeah, maybe not all of them, but I've got my theory that a lot of them are basically twanging, a lot of them are finessing the artists.
Yeah, they're taking your money. 100%.
Because a lot of these plays, how it works, how you make your money, it's complete bullshit.
Absolutely.
So for you, like, as a for you, this is a 2-part question, yeah? What are your thoughts on the streaming platforms? And the second question, like, if this could be made possible in terms of like going back to just selling music like physically, you know, like how we used to be before, CDs and stuff like that. Man. Like, do you think a lot more artists like nowadays would even benefit more because obviously we got our phones, we can record. There's certain things that we can do a lot more easier, but in terms of like just the sales, like the streaming platforms, if things went back to physical, do you think like if things could go back to physical? Do you think that would benefit a lot more up-and-coming artists, even a lot more artists in general, long-term, you get me?
I mean...
If you get what I mean.
Yeah. I feel like if we could go back to, you know, physical being more important, it probably would be better for music artists because, do you know what the thing is? It's tough, yeah? Like,
trust me.
Barriers to any industry, you know, we always think about trying to remove barriers, but sometimes barriers serve purpose. Yeah, because it adds a little bit of like, you know, not every club you can get into. Do you get it? Yeah. The club that you can just walk into on Friday night, every man can just go in there for £5. Yeah. Like, yeah, cool, you might have some people in there, but then there's a club around the corner where you got to be on the guest list. And even if you are on the guest list, you still got to pay £30 at the door. Like, there's just quality. You get a different quality of people in both of those clubs. So at the end of the day, if you think about if people actually had to buy physical music maybe to actually get your whole EP or your whole album and you could only put like a single on the streaming service, it probably would separate the artists who really want this, because at the end of the day, the barrier to that really is the investment also, because for you to have physical copy, like, you have to know people who are going to be able to print your CDs, print the booklet for inside of your CDs, all the cases. Then where do you market this? Do you know the distributors? What, we still have HMV, or where do you sell this? At your show? Do you like, how do you do all of that stuff? But because it's more difficult, then it kind of weeds out people who don't care so much. So people who just like make music on their phone and then it just like blows on TikTok and then they get a record deal for like a single and then they make all this money, those people probably wouldn't exist because you're not, do you know what I mean? People are not going to invest all their money to print CDs for somebody who's going to be a one-hit wonder. Then they're going to only invest their money in a quality artist. But then you put the barriers up for someone who's an independent artist like me, because then it becomes, okay, if I can only put my single on the streaming platform, and when I want to give someone a body of work, I want to give somebody an EP, or I want to make an album or whatever, I have to print the CDs myself. Then I've got to start looking at how do I print CDs, and then how does that industry evolve? Like, do they make it more accessible for independent artists to be able to print 100 albums and it don't cost £25 an album? And now you got to sell your album for £30 to make £5. Who's buying an album for £30?
Crazy.
Like, do you know what I mean? So then you have a whole different set of barriers. So right now it's like no barriers means sometimes you get low quality and you get high numbers, but now you gotta search through all that mountain of trash to find good artists and to find diamond in the rough. But it's like, okay, do you want to search through everything and have all of these options, or do you want to have less options but get more quality? People usually pick more options.
What is like personally? What is your personal relationship with streaming platforms for you personally?
My relationship with streaming platforms is I really just use streaming platforms like marketing. To be honest with you, I don't. I look at it like, for me, it's an authentic way for people to find my music if you use it correctly. Yeah, so what I do is a lot of the time with my music, I'll try and like get it playlisted, or I'll like, I subscribe to this service that Spotify have. I don't know if you don't know if they got something called, you know, they put your stuff on the radio basically. So if you got over a certain amount of plays and whatever, they'll put you in the algorithm more when people are listening to stuff like you. So let's say, for example, I've got a drill tune out right now and someone's listening to drill music, and then Spotify just puts on the radio, so a song that sounds like that, they might just grab my drill song and just put it in there next. I feel like that for me is quite authentic, because when I'm listening to Spotify or whatever and it just puts on the radio and they just put on different tunes, like, you know, sometimes you just hear a tune and you think, that's kind of cold. Who's that? What's that?
Exactly, yeah.
And if you like it, you just add it to your playlist. For me, that's really authentic. Like, you don't know who I am. You just heard my music. You might know what I look like if there's a background. If not, whatever. If the picture ain't me, you got no clue. You're just like, this is a bit cold.
Yeah, you just...
And I feel like you just authentically like my music. You're not worried about anything else. So I use it in that sense of like, cool, once I've got past a certain amount of plays, in playlists, it's an authentic way for people to find me. Like, if I'm just in there with, I don't know, you're listening to J Hus and whatever, then next it randomly just goes to my tune and you'll figure, I don't know who that was, but that's a bit cold. Add that to the playlist. So I kind of use it in that way. And then also, I feel like the streaming platforms just work like a business card now as an artist, which it kind of sucks because it doesn't represent quality. But at the end of the day, your Spotify is going to be your business card. Because if you tell someone, I do music, the first thing they're going to say is, are you on whatever platform they have, which might be Apple Music, might be Amazon or Tidal or whatever the hell. If you ain't on that, that's already a bit of an L, because now they're thinking, is your thing even legit? And then if you are on that, they go on there and they look at there, and if your monthly listeners says 10, they're like, hey, do I even really want to see your music? Cause do you know what I mean? The numbers add some validity to what you do. So as much as I despise being numbers based, if when you click on my thing, just because there's 4 digits instead of 3, you're going to maybe take me in, I'm just going to do what I need to do to get my 4 digits or my 5 digits or whatever. Because if that's how you end up listening to me, I don't care. But once you listen to me, take it in.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Because I think all the artists now are on streams and they have to be on many different platforms. Yeah,
absolutely. Because you see what they're paying artists. There's nothing. Nothing. You're not, like, if you're trying to do a streaming to like be part of your career financially, that's mad. Like, that's so mad. Like, the only people who make real money off of like Spotify streams are people like Bad Bunny, who like all of your songs have like 900 million streams, 600 million streams, 300 million streams. Because like, I even seen a thing with Snoop Dogg, and they gave him a plaque. I think Spotify gave him a plaque for 1 billion streams or something like that. And he was on an interview and he was like, I said to my accountant, break down how much that is. And I think it was like 40 grand.
Fucking for 1 billion streams.
1 billion. That's Snoop. Like, imagine how much we respect Snoop.
People are getting finesse.
If Snoop was only trying to make money off streaming, he would have made 40 grand. He can't even live off of that. So like, if you think that that's going to be your bread and butter, that's crazy. But if you're not smart enough to realize that that is going to be your business card, then that's also crazy. Because you say your name, somebody's going to click on your thing. The numbers add some validity here. Like, let's not be stupid. If your top song's got 50,000 streams, I'm like, alright, cool. There's some people that rock with what you're doing. Let me try and see if I'm going to be one of these people. People want to catch it early, but sometimes people are nervous if it's too early. You know, people don't want to be in your life when there's 0 viewers. You don't want to be one.
Exactly.
Who's the one person sitting in my life? Like, you know, sometimes people are nervous to be that person. But if there was 50 people, sometimes people don't mind sitting down and checking out what you got going on.
Of course.
So you can't ignore the effect of the numbers, but you can't wait on it.
Yeah, as you always hear, like these music artists say, like, it's a numbers game, which it really is.
It is, like, it is in certain aspects, because, like I said, that's your business card, so you got to think, like, if they wanted to book you on a festival, like, you're an artist, they want to book you on a festival, they're literally going to want to know your streaming numbers, they're going to want to know how many active listeners you have and all those kinds of things, because is it actually worth us putting you on a lineup? And when we do, how much P's do we need to offer you for putting you on a lineup? Because what are you really drawing in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you just going to be an early man and we're just like, look, we got £100 spare, do you want it? And if you're grinding and you love it, then you're thankful for the opportunity that you even made £100. Or are you trying to do your money thing and you're like, well, I've got 100k listeners and these men are saying, well, boy, we only got £500, and you're like, what? For 100k listeners? Like, nah, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? But if you really love the music, you like, every single time I get paid for music, I'm gassed.
Of course,
I'm gassed.
of course. Because for you, it's more like, it's
the love, like,
it's the love of the music.
Do you know what I'm saying? So if someone's actually going to give me their money that, like, either they earned and they're trying to put their money back into running their event, or like they've gone and got funding and they've portioned a part of this funding and I'm a part of that and they can only give me £60, I'm going to come and I'm going to shell it for £60.
Tell them.
Of course.
Like, because if that was all you had and you thought of me and you like, and you like what I'm doing and you like, I want the people that I invite to this to also be able to digest you, that's mad respect for me. And then you're going to give me peas. You're not even asking me to just come and do that for my profile.
Exactly.
You're like, I'll still try and break you what I can break you. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
how did you when I was doing a little research, how did you come, how basically you performed with N-Dubz, innit?
Yeah.
Talk to us about how that opportunity came around.
You know what?
Big up N-Dubz.
Big up N-Dubz, man.
Yeah.
Big up N-Dubz.
How did that opportunity come around?
Literally, it was so random. So have you lot ever been to like a TV show recording?
Nah, I've never, you know.
Nah, never. No. So like, you know when they do like X Factor, you can go be in the audience and that, yeah? Okay, it was a thing like that. Okay. It was the Mo Gilligan show, yeah? So my friend, she was literally like to me, I got a couple tickets to go be in the audience for the Mo Gilligan show, like, do you want to come? Like, yeah, cool. And then when we're in the queue outside, you know, sometimes when you go to these shows, you know, sometimes they got segments where they're like, we got people from the audience and they're doing whatever the hell. Yeah. So like, the way that works is when you're outside and you're waiting to go in, the people kind of go through the line and they're like, oh, we have this segment tonight. Like, we need, I don't know, we need talent or whatever. Does anyone want to nominate themselves? So they're like looking for people, innit? Yeah. And then obviously they're coming around and my friends are like, yeah, like she raps. But I'm like, nah, I've literally just come here to just, yeah, but you know, I'm not thinking about being a rapper right now. I'm literally just Simone. I'm outside, like, I've come to just chill like Mo Gilligan. How I'm thinking it's gonna be funny, innit? Yeah. So I'm not even thinking like, nah, I'm not planning for that. So I'm like, nah. But then we go in and they're looking for people to do something else in the back. Yeah, I think it's like the intro scene, when they introduce the celebrities are like coming out of this car and there's like a fake red carpet and all the people on the side of the red carpet are like, ah. So we was like one of them extra people and they were like, oh, we need extras. And me and my boy did drama in school. So we're like, oh, that's banks. Like, let's go be an extra. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'm back there, we're being extras on the side, like, fake stuff. And then somebody came back there and was like, excuse me, is there someone called Simone? I'm thinking like, what? Mind you, I'm thinking, how's somebody looking for me? Like, I don't know. Exactly. I don't know anyone here. Like, is that someone called Simone? I'm like, yeah. She pulls me to the side and she's like, we're looking for people to like participate in the thing. They like if they have a talent, and we asked in the crowd, and all of your people said that you're a very talented rapper, and we should come backstage and speak to you.
Come on.
So like at that point, all my friends, all the man, they dropped me in it. Like my friend, her mom, her aunt, and all that. So they sent them backstage to come find me. So now I'm like, do you know what? Maybe it's a sign. I'm like, alright, cool. Yeah. So I'm like, cool. She's like, alright. She literally said to me, that's great. Stand right here. Stood me on the wall and she was like, if you just rap for like 20 seconds, I'm thinking like, raw. Just pulled me out, just freestyle. So I'm just rapping on the wall for like 20 seconds. Then she's like, great, I'm just going to send that to the director. She's just standing there. She said it in like this WhatsApp chat. Then she's like, fabulous. Yeah, you're going to be on the show. So if you just come with me, Now, I'm not going back to my friends. I've just missed the whole recording that I've come there to see. I'm in the back. Because they're like, you gotta wait and like prepare for that segment. So everyone's in the back, they're preparing. And it's so mad because a couple of weeks before that, I just wrote a song, where in it, I said Mo Gilligan, something.
Imagine.
A couple of weeks before that. So now I'm like...
It's no coincidence.
So now I'm like, cool. I've already got some bars where I'm saying Mo Gilligan, side. I said, cool, let me just finesse a little part of the verse with the Mo Gilligan part. Because if I go out there and I'm rapping, you hear your own name, you're probably even going to be like, oh, okay, writing.
Yeah.
Cool. So now they put me on the little thing. I've gone on there, I've rapped Mo Gilligan, whatever. And it's mad, it's like him, Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, that was the episode where, I remember.
Rio Ferdinand, Jesse Ware, like there were a couple people in there. Obviously when I came up, I was clapping, whatever. Then they sent me through to the final thing, and then in the final was you perform with N-dubs, and out of you and the other person, basically whoever performs the best wins. And it's mad, like.
I remember I used to love that segment where they used to always get people to like freestyle, and even the stars that come on the show to go back and forth, and everybody have their own like few seconds, whatever. I used to love
like
that.
They're authentic, innit? Like when you're just watching TV, you're just jamming, like, especially when you're like younger or whatever, you're jamming with your family on the weekend, taking in a little something, like you just see someone on TV, like, oh, you're talented, like that's cool, like love that for you.
It was proper good, man. It was literally really good.
Literally out of nowhere. Imagine I've just gone there to be in the crowd and then span that whole thing, and now it's just part of my music career. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was on the TV.
Was that the first time like you've been on the Mo Gilligan show, or you've been there before?
No, never been there before. Never anything. Literally first time. First time.
Talk
and
about
what's the odds that just before that I've just written a song with his name in it that's part of the chorus, and now I'm here and I'm thinking, well, I might as well rap that on here, because now I'm backstage and I'm thinking, now I am in artist mode. So now if I rap that little part of the song, I've also just promoted my next song on TV. I take the TV clip and now I've got the marketing campaign for my song because I rapped it on the TV already.
You're ahead of the game, man.
Yep.
Hey,
but how can you, do that if you're not prepared?
Yeah.
I was prepared because I was just writing music because I'm being an artist. So what's that? I'm living my life. I'm seeing Mo Gilligan on TV. I'm seeing 1, 2 things. You know, what you live just ends up in your bars. Yeah. Now I'm in a situation where I've come just to see you because I've written some bars. But now I'm on the stage and I'm saying them.
Yo.
And now it's televised on TV. And now I can go crop that, and I've got high quality footage of me on TV rapping a piece of a song that now is on Spotify.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Literally. So then I finished the song in like 2 weeks before they dropped the episode. They were like, the episode's coming out in 2 weeks. I went home and finished the song.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. That was really good, man. Because like I said, like whenever I used to watch the Mo Gilligan show, that segment used to be one of my favorite segments. Because you, like I said, you hear people freestyling. Obviously, I'm gonna be, because I'm a brutally honest person, innit? Like obviously, sometimes some people will be cringe or whatever. Yeah, you hear the thing, and sometimes you hear, like, especially some of the celebrities that used to come, like no name. But some of the celebrities that used to come, it just used to be like. Shit. But I used to enjoy the segment. It was really good. It was dope. Yeah, it was really good. Literally.